I'm Aryan, the future trillionaire, and this is my morning routine. Alright, so I wake up at around 7 am or sometimes even at 6:45, and I don't use an alarm for mainly two reasons. Reason number one, waking up from an alarm is fucking annoying. Like, these dumb iPhone alarm? Nah, that shit isn't for me. And the second reason, it doesn't feel very natural. You know, in the Stone Age, did people use alarm? No, they used to wake up naturally, and that's how I like waking up. So my body clock has been set up for around 7 a.m. or 6:45 a.m. and I just wake up naturally. So after waking up, I go outside. I usually go outside in my garden and look at the sky like I'm looking at some child porn. Looking at the sky decreases our melatonin levels. So for those of you who don't know what melatonin is a hormone which is necessary for many functions in our body, but its main function is to make us feel sleepy. So melatonin is directly proportional to sleep. So therefore, if your melatonin levels are high, you will feel more sleepy. If your melatonin levels are low, you will feel less sleepy. And melatonin can be controlled by one factor and one factor only, and that is light. So by looking at light, melatonin levels are decreased, and therefore this means that I will feel less sleepy. It's just that. Alright, so I look at the sky and it makes me feel more awake, and it takes around 10 to 15 minutes for me to fully wake up. And after while looking at the sky, I also do some push-ups. Push-ups increases our body temperature, and increase in body temperature makes us more awake. It's some dumb sciencey shit. I don't want to go deep in that. I know you won't understand it, and I also don't understand it. Alright, so after doing some push-ups and looking at the sky, I come inside and usually drink some lemon and salt water. So what lemon and salt water really does is it wakes up our neurons. Our neurons have have spaces in between called synapses. It has something to do with our synapses and neurons. Alright, so it wakes up our neurons and it makes us feel less sleepy. And also we should drink lemon plus salt water in the morning because it helps in digestion. Alright, so after drinking this salt lemon water, I usually meditate. Before meditation, like a month ago, I used to meditate in the evening, and I used to do gratitude journaling in the morning. But now I have seen that meditating in the morning is more helpful to me than in the evening, and like I do the reverse now. I meditate in the morning and I gratitude journal in the evening because it's just my personal experience. You don't have to try that. But yeah, after drinking that lime water shit, I meditate. What meditation really does is it gives me clarity. It makes me feel less anxious. It helps me to think deep thoughts like a philosopher, and it improves my focus and makes me more calmer. After meditation, I do the most crucial step of my morning routine, and it's also the hardest thing, and that is cold shower. So every morning routine video, people take cold shower, and there's a reason for that. Cold shower increases our cortisol levels, which cortisol is another hormone which causes us a feeling called stress. So cortisol causes the feeling of stress. So by deliberate cold exposure or cold shower, I don't know what, both are same, we increase our cortisol levels and therefore we feel more stressed, and by feeling more stressed, we feel more awake. And this is not that type of stress that you get from school or work. This is actual good stress that we need to this is the actual good stress that we need to progress in our lives. After the cold shower comes the second most important part of my morning routine, and that is breakfast. In breakfast, I usually eat a high protein, low carb diet, that is 4 eggs, a handful of almonds, and a small teaspoon of honey. The reason why I usually eat a high protein, low carb diet is because what I've noticed in myself is that carbs always make me feel very sleepy, and by feeling more sleepy, I will obviously become less productive. So I usually avoid eating carbs in the morning, like for example, I avoid eating all these sugary cereals or even a big bowl of oats in the morning, because they just make me feel more sleepy. But it's just my personal preference. You can experiment with all that. Alright, so this was my morning routine to become a trillionaire, and my advice to all you guys is that don't trust me or anyone on the internet, because why would you trust someone on the internet, dude? You don't even know me or those people making random morning routine videos on the internet. So what my advice to you is, instead of just watching those morning routine videos and copying other people, just take some inspiration from them and derive your own morning routine, because it will help you in the long term. Like, do experiments, I experiment with my diet a lot. I experimented with journaling and meditation, like that. Yeah, so do experiments and then see what works for you the best. And yeah, this was my morning routine as a future trillionaire. Yeah, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, drink coconut water.